Hello, today's going to be another one of those one-off episodes like the Raid Cinematic, where basically I make something for my TikTok account. Link in the description. So today we're going to be making a model for a parachute. So basically, I got this idea when I was browsing Reddit and I came across r/Minecraft commands, and I saw a post by the user Ninja Tree, where basically Ninja Tree made a command for a parachute. Also, I have a Reddit, so go check that out if you want to. So basically, Ninja Tree's command gives you slow falling whenever it detects that you've jumped off something. However, I thought it was a shame that there was no visual aspect to this command, and that you couldn't see the parachute that was bringing you down to safety. So I took it upon myself to make a visual model of a parachute using armor stands. So my initial idea was to equip a bunch of armor stands with leather caps dyed white to act as the canvas of the parachute. But a leather cap isn't entirely dyed white when you actually dye it. There's still a strip of brown in there, so I decided I would go with iron helmets instead. I experimented with enchanting the iron helmets because I thought the enchantment effect would make it look like the canvas was rippling, but I thought it didn't work. So with the materials I was going to use already figured out, I thought I would make a model of the parachute to give me an idea of what I want it to look like and how it will look. But once I set it up, it was clear that without commands, I couldn't get the helmets close enough together to see what it would look like. So instead of completing the model, I just started assembling the parachute. I named the armor stands and had them teleport a few blocks above my second account. Then I turned the armor stands invisible, so all you see is the helmet, which is supposed to represent the white canvas of the parachute. Then it was just a matter of figuring out how far apart the helmet should be so that it looks the best, and teleporting the armor stands into the correct locations. For example, if I teleported an armor stand to the right of another armor stand, then the helmets aren't actually close together, they don't touch. It looks like there's a gap in between, and you don't want any gaps in your parachutes. I discovered that the best distance to teleport an armor stand away from another armor stand is 0.6 blocks. That way, it looks like there's touching and there's no gaps in the parachute. I got a few armor stands into the parachute, but I still felt like I needed a visual model of a parachute for me to work with. I didn't know exactly what I was making it, what kind of shape. I didn't even know if I was making it like a dome-shaped parachute or one of the arch gliding parachutes yet. I made a model out of iron blocks, but I couldn't get the arch-style parachute to look right, so I'd settled with a dome-shaped parachute. Another aspect of the parachute I didn't know how to visualize yet was the cords that attach the user to the parachute. I was going to try to attach leads to the armor stands, but I soon realized that you can't actually attach a lead to an armor stand. So I needed something that I could actually attach leads to. And for some reason I thought attaching a lead to a chicken and making the chicken invisible and placing it in the parachute was a good idea. Of course, this would mean that my parachute would periodically lay eggs, but it's worth it for the detail. With these ideas in mind, I started placing down the next lower layer of armor stands for the dome shape of the parachute. Then I spawned in more command blocks to write in the commands so that they teleport in the correct places. In total, I used 21 armor stands to make up the base of the parachute. Then it was time to put the chickens into the parachute, which is a sentence that you thought you'd never hear. I had my second account put leads on the chickens, and then I used commands to teleport them up into the parachute. Then I turned the chickens invisible so it just looked like I had two cords that were attached to the parachute and not to two invisible chickens. With the parachute complete, I gave myself some slow falling to make it look like the parachute actually worked. And there you go, the parachute was complete. Unfortunately, there isn't a slow fall command strong enough to make the parachute look less janky, so we'll just have to live with it. Here are some of the shots that I took of me using the parachute. I got some shots of me jumping off buildings or some of the things I'd created in the process, like the iron block model of the parachute. I also tried making myself look like a paratrooper and just getting some shots of that as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't really make the parachute look green because then the leather caps that I would use would still have brown strips in them. So that's pretty much it for this episode. We successfully created a visual model of a parachute using 21 iron helmets, 21 armor stands, 2 chickens, 2 leads, and 24 command blocks. Also, Ninja Tree, if you're watching this, you can go ahead and use this, although I'm pretty sure there are way better ways to make a parachute model, and you probably know about them already. So go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe, and I'll catch you in whatever I post next.